A couple videos ago, we learned that in our small intestine primarily, that is where the subunits of the nutrients are going to enter into the bloodstream or the lymphatic system. And then what? What goes on after that? So we've absorbed them into a vessel, and then what happens? So that's what we're going to cover now, the delivery of absorbed nutrients. The majority of nutrients are going to enter the villus, and they're going to go into one of these red or blue vessels into the bloodstream. Once in the bloodstream, or in veins in particular, those veins that are leaving the digestive tract villi are going to basically come together to eventually enter into another vein, something called the portal vein, that is going to deliver these nutrients to the liver. Okay, so remember, the liver has a digestive tract function in secreting bile, but this is different. This is a different function of the liver. What basically happens is that most material, almost all material that's absorbed, ends up at the liver. And when it comes into the liver, it like passes through all these little places between liver cells. And our liver cells decide, what do I do with that material that was just absorbed? It's kind of like a bouncer. It's kind of like a gatekeeper. The liver is like, okay, this person just ate these nutrients and they got absorbed. What do I do with it? Do I detoxify it because there's something bad in here? Do I use it for my own fuel? Do I send it off to the rest of the body? Is it good to do that? Do I metabolize it into something else? The liver is going to make the decision about what to do with absorbed materials. Whatever the liver decides can go on to the rest of the body is then going to end up in a different vein. It's eventually going to end up in something called the inferior vena cava. And from there, it can go to the heart and then off to the rest of the body. But the material has to pass through the liver first, okay? Material that cannot enter into the blood capillaries instead enters into this green vessel that's here, which is something called a lymphatic vessel. The lymphatic system is a series of one-way vessels that basically clear the tissues of things. But one of the other functions of the lymphatic system is that it's a drainage system that allows us to absorb large fatty substances from the small intestine and to send them off to the rest of the body. So large lipids, they don't go to the liver first. They bypass the liver and they go through the lymphatic system, but eventually enter into the bloodstream just like everything else. They actually enter into the bloodstream around this level, around something called our thoracic duct. Like we mentioned, one of the things our liver can do is it can detoxify. If something has come in through our digestive tract that is potentially toxic to the body, our liver has mechanisms to break them down or convert them into non-toxic substances. In general, the level of toxins within a well-balanced diet is far below the threshold for harm. Also, when we do take toxins in, we also have the kidneys, we also have the lungs that help us get rid of some of those toxins as well. I know that a lot of people are really concerned with toxins these days, and that's why they'll eat foods or go on diet plans that are claiming to be detoxification programs. The evidence to support these diets, it's scarce at best. There is not a known commercial detoxification plan that is in any way superior or even comparative to the effects of the liver and the kidneys. A lot of these programs are they're just money grabs, and they're making a lot of false claims that are not backed up by good scientific evidence. So buyer beware with those.